Let's get to our next guest who gives his take on Apple's newest gadget. In fact, he's one of only 8 people in the United States given early access to the iPad. And the lucky man is Dan Costa. He's the executive editor at PCMag.com, and he joins us from our New York studio. So, Dan, how did that happen? How did you get your hands on one of these iPads before the launch?
Well, I mean, obviously, a little bit of his luck. We asked. And, PC Mag has a reputation for doing great testing in PC labs and benchmarking our products and being really fair when we evaluate things. So I think that reputation really helped us.
Okay, well, this is the most hyped tablet since, of course, Moses had his own, right? That's what we're saying this morning, yeah. Dan. So take us through this. I mean, the iPad, any really Apple gadget being launched seems to be a rock star phenomenon these days. You have people lining up outside stores. They want to try to get the gadget as quickly as possible. So what is the coolest thing about the iPad that you've noticed so far?
I mean, the great thing about this device, I mean, first of all, I should just say, I wish we could run counter to popular opinion, but I mean, we tested it in the labs. We gave it a 4.5 out of 5, an editor's choice. So we really like the device. It's very innovative. It really represents something new in computing. And a lot of it is not necessarily the hardware, but the software, the usability, and how it works. So you'll notice you can just scroll through different icons. It works a lot like your iPod Touch or your iPhone. The great thing is that all those applications that are on your iPhone, there's 150,000 of them, those will all run on the iPad. So there's already a huge install base, a huge number of applications that users can download. And at launch, they're going to have about 1,000 applications that are designed just to work on the iPad and take advantage of this big screen.
Yeah, so Dan, let me ask you this. I'm looking at, are you using this new iPad? Because I have an iPhone. Why would I want basically my iPhone on steroids? That's kind of what it looks like, right?
It really is. And a lot of people are saying, well, is it going to replace the laptop? Is it going to replace my phone? It's not really designed to do either one of those things. Obviously, it's too big to fit into your pocket, so it's not going to make a very good mobile communication device. You're still going to want to carry a phone with you. And this does not have a phone built into it. So that's not really what it's for. It's really for taking in content, watching web pages, watching movies. I mean, I'm playing the Star Trek clip here, and it's just fantastic. So imagine taking this on the plane with you when you're on a cross-country trip.
Oh my goodness,
just
yeah,
great,
that looks lovely.
Great multimedia, and you still get all-day battery life, which is one of the things I was really worried about when they said they were going to do all this in this device. How long is the battery going to last? We found it lasted about 9.5 hours, which is enough to get you through your average workday or even your above-average workday.
Yeah, I bet. So let me ask you about the e-reader portion. I mean, it could work as an e-reader, right? It's competing in that component as well.
Absolutely. The ebook reader doesn't come pre-installed on the device. You have to download it from the iTunes store. But once you do, and it's free to do so, you can purchase books through Apple. And the ebook reader is great. I mean, it's got a great bright white screen, easy to read. And to turn the page, you just either tap on a page, or you can actually pull pages, and it'll show you moving the page. And just like on the Kindle, you can change the size of text. You can search within text. It's just a pretty compelling experience. This is a lot more expensive than a lot of the ebook readers on the market. This starts at $500 and then goes up from there. So it's not going to put the Kindle out of business overnight, but it does represent another channel, another opportunity for publishers.
Hey, Dan, I was going to ask you about the price point. I mean, I think basic is $449 US. It is pricey, isn't it? I mean, it could go up to $800 US a piece.
It is, and this unit in particular, I mean, this has the first price point decision you have to make is, do you get a 3G modem built in, or do you just go with Wi-Fi? They all have Wi-Fi. They all get online that way. If you're going to get a 3G modem built in, that's going to cost you $130 extra right from day one. And then after that, you have to pay for a data plan, which will cost anywhere from $20 to $25 a month, depending on whether or not you want unlimited data. So it is an expensive device, but I mean, we've seen that with first-generation devices before. There generally is a premium for coming into the market first.
Yeah, and there's no camera, is that right, on these iPads? No moving cameras, no still cameras?
Yeah, that is a disappointment, because ideally what you'd love to see is a device like this that you could use for video conferencing, for Skyping, for video chatting, and we've knocked them for that, and that's part of it. That's one of the things in our cons and our reviews, that we'd love to see a camera on this device, and it shouldn't be that expensive. But obviously they're waiting for things for another version, and they're trying to keep the price point down. So there's no camera built into this. That's obviously something you're going to find more on netbooks and laptops.
Yeah, but 4.5 stars out of 5, not bad from, I guess, PC Mag's point of view. One more question for you, Dan. It looks like Apple, or people, well, not Apple themselves, but analysts looking at Apple are expecting them to sell maybe 1.2 million units this weekend. Do you think that's going to happen, or is that overestimating?
You know, I'm a technology analyst, not necessarily a technical analyst, but everybody I've talked to, there's a lot of buzz about it, obviously, and we've contributed to that, mostly on the merits of the product. I mean, it really is an amazing device. So whether or not it goes mainstream, whether they sell millions, I really couldn't say, but it'll definitely change the market, and we're going to see a lot more of these devices from other manufacturers.
Yeah, and we have people already camping outside the Apple stores to try to be the first to get their hands on this new product. The iPad is touching down. Okay, Dan, thank you for that. Dan Costa, one of the lucky, I think, one of 8 people in the U.S. actually got their hands on the iPad pre-debut.